takes about 30 to 45 minutes before we arrive at school. Since there are no teachers, we have KG 1 and 2, class 1 and 2 in this same class.
So many occasions when the rain starts like that, you can cross.
Sometimes we get here maybe in the middle of nowhere and you see them driving in a very reckless manner and you can't ask them to stop. Where will you drop?
What's the experience on the island? I mean,
Okay.
tell us, where were you from before you came here?
Okay, I came from the Ashanti region, Kumasi to be precise. I came for about 3 years now, and crossing the river to and fro is it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But for now, it seems we are managing. It's okay now. It hasn't been easy, but with God, I think we are managing.
So, for the first 1 month you came here, what were you expecting? Did you wanted to go back to Kumasi, or you just wanted to adapt to the situation?
Oh no, in fact, it was something hurting. So I had wanted to leave, but since things were late, so I had to stay. And now I've been adjusted to the situation now. In my class, I have KG 1 and 2, class 1 and 2 in my class.
So you are from the mainland, and that's
Yes.
one is
Adan.
Adan.
Yeah.
Which of the Adan? Is it the Adan?
Big Adan.
Big Adan.
Techunya. Yeah.
So you cross this
The
every
river,
day. So
yes.
how many minutes? Unfortunately, I didn't even check my time when we left from Panye. But roughly, what time? How many minutes does it take you?
It depends. Sometimes people join us, so they have to be alighting. So sometimes it takes about 30 to 45 minutes before we arrive at school. Yes.
Anyways, an interesting one right here. But I would follow you to your classroom and see how you
Okay.
do your thing. The time you get to school, how you do your things in the classroom.
Okay.
So you class 1,
2, KG 1 and 2.
so 4
Class,
classes.
yeah.
It's a Friday morning, and I'm currently at the Tuane Copper Basic School. And when I got here, the place looked a bit, quiet, but I can see some students around. Class is not in session as at 9:28 my time or my clock is saying. And we came with the teachers from the mainland, that's from Ada, Pongpo Panya community. We actually came with them from the mainland to the island here. And my interaction with some of the teachers, they said sometimes when it rains, they have to take their time because the water becomes, it gets higher, so they have to wait a little while for the water to come down before they can cross. But I'll interact with some of the teachers and the students as well. Why, as at 9:28 or 9:30, my time is saying, they haven't started classes yet. Let's get interaction with some of the teachers to give us more, highlights on this situation.
This class is for KG, but since there are no teachers, we have KG 1 and 2, class 1 and 2 in this same class.
So 4 classes in
Yes.
one. So how do you manage them?
It's not easy. You have to be running through the curriculum. You have to go for KG 1, quickly KG 2, then like that. That is how we are doing it. And it's not been easy, but we are trying.
But it's 9:30 and if we go by the curriculum, I mean, classes start at 7:30. If I mean my memory serves me right, why as of now, I mean, classes hasn't started?
It's because we normally move from the mainland, which is Ada, to this island, and we don't have our boats. Normally, we have to go in for the commercial ones before we come to school. So the person who carries us here to school, the person has to do some works before bringing us here. It makes us late. Normally on the market days, the students they don't come to school because of the market days, because most of them go to the market with their parents. That is how it is done here. Most of the case they go to the market with their parents. So on market days, the students they don't come to school in their number.
So what are some, apart from, I mean, coming to school late? I mean, you have to wait for the commercial boat to bring you, ferry you on the water to school. What other peculiar issue do you have in the Tuane Kope school?
Okay, for issues, we have so many issues because when it comes to the school, you look at our roof, you can see we have holes in the roofs. And so normally when it rains like this, mostly we don't come to school because when it's raining, we can't stay in the class. And also we lack teachers and let me say boats, but now we have our own boats. So I think that is that.
Crossing the river from the mainland to the island is not easy because sometimes you'll be on the river during rainy season and you encounter storm. So by the grace of God, we are able to be here safely. You will cross and nothing will happen to us. Our main motivation is the students. We want to help them to become better person in future. Yes, they are our main motivation because if we said we will not come, who will be willing to come? So we just have to sacrifice and help them to become whom they want to become.
So has there been a situation where you're not able to come because of rain?
Oh yes, so many occasions when the rain starts like that, you can't cross because you will not know how, because the estuary is just here. So when you are coming during the rainy season and the wave start to, it can worry. So when it's rainy, we advise ourselves not to come. And when we are on the island like this and it's rain too, we don't cross. So it's just last week we were here up to 6 getting to 7 because before we are able to cross because the rain, it was raining and we can't cross during the rain. Yes.
For how long have you been doing this?
For 4 years now. Yes. And it hasn't been easy because from the onset I felt okay, it was kind of an adventure for me. I liked the idea of crossing the river, but when I started, actually the experience hasn't been, it's been okay but not that good. You know, crossing it once in a while is okay, but when it becomes something you do daily, it becomes a risk. Yes.
So has there been a situation where you get up in the morning and you be like, oh God, am I going to do this again?
Oh yes, especially when it's cloudy or when it rains. We don't want to cross because sometimes the rain comes with wind and thinking, especially even when you are in school. When you're at home, you might end up staying at home. But when you're on the island and it rains or it's windy, we don't have teachers' bungalow. So you definitely have to cross. And there is no light, so you can't even do anything on the island. You definitely have to cross.
So which class do you teach?
Grade 3.
Grade 3. So for 4 years now. Are you a trained teacher?
Yeah, I'm a trained teacher.
So how did you feel when you heard or you had the news that you've been posted to the island?
As I said earlier, to me, from the beginning, I felt it was going to be cool. some sort of adventure because I had never crossed river. So I was thinking, oh, island, and I was thinking maybe you see island, so there'll be a lot of benefits, opportunities. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm in it, because most teachers, when being posted, they'll do reposting because of some other reasons they don't come. But for me, I was like, okay, why not? Let me just try this island thing and see how it will go. But first year I was okay. Second year I'm like, So as we speak, if certain things are not put in place for teachers to have the comfortability, I'm sure I'll have to leave this place.
So going for what would you recommend that government should do for you?
I feel teachers bungalow one. Yes, because if we have a teachers bungalow, even if I'll cross, it will be once in a while, not every day. But since we don't have it, you are forced to be crossing. But if there is a teacher bungalow, I'll have to just stay, and then the only time I'll cross is maybe when I want to buy something, which wouldn't be every day. Yes, but since we don't have it, we are being forced to actually cross. Some of the teachers used to stay on the island. They were giving part of the nurses' bungalows, I think 3 rooms, and we are more than 3 teachers, so all of us can't stay in that room. So some of us were forced to rent in town. One thing about these commercial boats also is sometimes it overloads. I've got videos. It overloads. Sometimes the way they drive it, you see, I don't know who is responsible for checking, because I know with driving, you need to get a driver's license. But with the boats, if you get to the riverside, whoever that has a boat, you will have to join, and you don't know whether they are experienced or not. So sometimes we get here maybe in the middle of nowhere, and you see them driving in a very reckless manner, and you can't ask them to stop. Where will you drop? If it was road, I'll say, hey, driver, Messi, but this, no. It's also another challenge. So aside the teachers' bungalows, if we have a personal boat, like for teachers' boats, that we know that, okay, this driver driving it is an experienced driver, at least we will feel a bit safer than we joining the commercial and overloading, reckless driving, and every day we have to be shouting. Health-wise, it's not good for us because we get really scared.